Hey everybody, Happy New Year and welcome to the review for the Doctor Who New Year Special Resolution. I'm just going to come right out and be directly honest with you about this. I was not looking forward to watching this episode, nor was I looking forward to doing this review. As a matter of fact, I didn't even watch it live. I kind of finished watching SmackDown, and then I finished watching the end of the Sugar Bowl last night, if that tells you of my excitement level for the New Year's special. And now it's almost 24 hours later before I'm doing this review, so that should tell you what I felt. Um, on the plus side, it's the best episode of 2019. On the flip side, it's also the worst episode of 2019 because it's the only episode of 2019 that we're getting. And, I did this a few years ago when they put the series on hold for a year. So thanks, BBC. And, no New Who till 2020, which, considering how Series 11 is gone and the Return of the Daleks went last night, that's more than likely a good thing. I will say that it felt a bit more like Who than most of the episodes of 2011, or excuse 2011, Series 11. See, this is how much this has fucked me up because it's just, I wasn't looking forward to this and it was horrible. We had some overdramatic soapy stuff with Ryan and his deadbeat dad. So we get to, revisit some of that again about, absentee fathers. Yay. Like an after school special. Graham is kind of non existent in this whole episode. So he got yazzed. Whereas, Yaz is normally the one that has nothing to do in the episode. This time it was kind of Graham outside of the little, words of prayer that he had with Ryan's dad. That was it. Jodie, dear God. Jodie had her moment with the scrapyard Dalek, and it's still not working. There's no weight, and it was real, very, just, it just sucked. It just totally sucked. And I mean, you got to look at the Rotten Tomatoes score. I think now for Series 11 is down to 24%, or it was of last night. So, we're all in agreement as far as, Whovians. This sucks, and it's continued to suck. And, I've never been a big fan of the Daleks. Never. I kind of dig the Master or the Sontarans, or I even like the Cybermen better than Daleks. Now, Davros I do dig, but the whole thing about, it went all Squidward and got loose and was controlling Lynn, the archaeologist or whatever the hell she was. It was kind of like, well, that's something we've not really seen before. But then there's the whole thing that in 55 years of the show, we've never seen the Daleks do that. And it wasn't, okay, it was a reconnaissance Dalek. So that means, ooh, it's got Squidward puppet Jeff Dunham powers that can control people like that. It just kind of didn't work. And, when it went all scrapyard Dalek at the end, I was like, well, it looks better than the new paradigm. But, you know, no, I'm just not a fan of the Daleks. And it's amazing how Chibnall did not want to go back and do recurring villains this season, although we got Tim Shaw twice. It's like, okay, people don't like the show, people don't like Jodie, so let's bring in the fucking Daleks. And while it felt more Who-ish than the majority of the season, it's still, the main thing comes down to Jodie doesn't feel like the Doctor. She still doesn't. Even with the whole, say that to my face. It just still came off as somebody cosplaying to be, these are doctors, okay? You see, you got Eccleston, you got Tennant, you got Matt Smith, and Capaldi. They all had weight. They all had gravitas. When they went one-on-one with a bad villain or the Daleks, it's like you felt it. With Jodie, it's just not there. It is not there. And I don't want to get into this whole thing, once again, the old argument about, oh, you're a He-Man woman hater and you don't like Jodie because she's a woman. I don't like Jodie because she's not a good doctor. I don't like this series because it's been crammed with, finger wagging political correctness and not enough sci-fi. I don't want to watch a show that is trying to tell me what is wrong with the world in general. I want to watch a show to escape what is wrong with the world in general, and that has been lost in translation in this whole series. Now, there are other YouTubers out there like Bulls Trek and El Patron and the Nerdrotic channel who are much more. See, it's like, I need to buy a vowel on this because it's just, they articulate their arguments a whole lot better than I do. But then, they all get the whole thing about, oh, it's because you're a He-Man woman hater. You don't like Jodie, blah, 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 blah. But we're missing out on, there are several female YouTube fans and female Whovians like Mecha Random 42 and Altieri that also hate this show because of what they've done to the main character or what they've done to the overall sci-fi-ness of it. It's not sci-fi anymore. It's not Doctor Who anymore. And that, the whole thing I said when I started this video about I wasn't looking forward to watching it and I wasn't looking forward to doing this review is because they've taken what has been one of my favorite shows and one of the things I've been a fan of for 3.5 decades and have turned it into soapbox finger waving, you're a horrible person because you're a white male. And I'm just over it. I'm completely over it. I'm watching Classic Who on BritBox. I've got DVD. Well, you can't really see them because you see the pops, but I mean, I've got an extensive Who DVD collection. And what is sad is that leading up to the premiere of this episode, they were showing all these classic, or well, new Who classic, episodes with David Tennant, Matt Smith, Eccleston, Peter Capaldi, and it's like, this is what the show was, like the RTD era, and I know people have problems with the Stephen Moffat era, but it's still 100 times better than this crap that we're getting now. It's horrible. I mean, Baby Capaldi hates it, and 24% score on Rotten Tomatoes. But this is supposed to be a review of Resolution, not an overall thing with the show. But I'm sorry, my overall opinion of the show and the direction and the actress playing the Doctor is what has made me, when you're a Whovian over 30 fucking years and you're not excited about watching a brand new episode, that should say something. And I think it says loads. Back to Resolution, I don't think that having it on New Year's Day was any more appropriate. Or, there was like one New Year's joke and a couple of things that Jodie was saying about, oh, we've done 19, let's do 20, New Year's celebrations or whatever. It still could have worked for Christmas. And the supporting cast, the two archaeologists that found the remains of the reconnaissance Dalek or whatever, they were okay. The guy playing Ryan's dad was okay. I mean, the Ryan stuff actually wasn't horrible. The Ryan and his dad stuff, it was just too much focus on it. You're bringing back the fucking Daleks, and the majority of the episode is about, oh, you left me when I was a kid and you didn't come to Grand's funeral. I mean, we spent more time on that. And then, of course, Jodie had to get her finger wagging in about, oh, it almost makes up for your deficiencies as a parent. And it's just like, what the fuck are we watching? And yet, is this EastEnders or is this Doctor Who? Is this Downton Abbey, which I do love Downton Abbey, or is this Doctor Who? It didn't feel like, I mean, as far as the sci-fi elements, it felt a little bit more like Doctor Who, but in the execution, it still sucks. It sucks. And it's almost, it's like, at least I don't have to make no more of these videos in 2012 or 2020. 2012, dude, I'm bumfuzzled. It's gotten to a point to where it's god awful horrible. And it's probably a good thing it's not going to be around for another year. I give it a 4, and that's just being kind. I mean, I did think that I kind of dug the Scrapyard Dalek, but, I'm not a big Dalek fan. I like Davros. And, the whole... Oh, and one other thing. What the fuck happened to the other two parts of the Dalek? I mean, I've watched it once. I don't want to bring myself to watch it again, but did they teleport or something to like become whole? Because nothing ever got brought back up about the one in the South Pacific and the one in Siberia. And either I missed it or those two parts of the Dalek are still out there. I don't know. It was horrible. And I'm glad it's taken a rest. I appreciate everybody that has watched the channel. I've had a couple of videos that have done really great numbers, so I appreciate it. I'm just glad that this part is over for now. So hope everybody's having a great 2019 so far. Keep on keeping on. May the force be with you.